This year we've been counting down the top 50 games released on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, Wii U, 3DS, and PlayStation Vita. So far we've run through 50 to 31, and today we are back to count down to 30 to 21 best games of this generation. This series also includes a series of one-off top 10 lists, so if you've missed any of the entries so far, including our 50 to 31, you can check those links in the description. But now, with that being said, let's continue our top 50. As time has gone on, the importance of Super Smash Bros. As a series, or rather the absurdity of it, has become more and more awe-inspiring. Since Brawl, the series has been breaking down barriers of old-school rivalries to compile decades of video game history into what is essentially a playable museum. With a roster of over 70 characters across legendary series like Final Fantasy, The Legend of Zelda, Metal Gear Solid, and Sonic, and representatives from hundreds of games through upgradable spirits, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a video game in its most wholesome form. There are good 2D platformers, and then there's Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Going above and beyond a simple 2D platformer, Retro Studios crafted an odyssey across multiple islands in the world of Donkey Kong, fully realizing a journey through jungles, rapids, caves, and more. What makes Tropical Freeze stand out aside from its intense challenge is its context. One level will have you platforming through a fruit processing plant, only for a few levels later to see the same fruit turn into a jello for bouncing platforms. Every platform, bridge, or swinging rope has a reason to be there. But the creativity doesn't stop there, with highlights like a musical stage in the plains of Africa that builds with instruments and animals as you progress. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is not only one of the Great Apes' best outings, but one of the best 2D platformers of all time.
With a heartfelt story, engaging gameplay, and a sprawling open world, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt certainly did not disappoint. Geralt's quest to find his adoptive daughter Ciri is elevated once Geralt and Ciri finally reunite. It's up to the player to treat Ciri with trust and independence, or to keep her at arm's length to avoid losing her again. It's this agency that drives the game into a complex story with lasting consequences, which rivals the interweaving, games-long story of a series like Mass Effect. It's easy to get sidetracked from the main story thanks to the engrossing open world. Visiting the countless question marks on the map is addicting, and I probably spent more time exploring than I did with the main questline. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is an excellent RPG that anyone, even those unfamiliar with the series, should play.
Yeah, he was just that kind of guy. But then one day he goes and kills us all. He couldn't even be original about the way he did it.
Take Guillermo del Toro, Hideo Kojima, and Norman Reedus. Team them up for a reboot of the psychological horror series Silent Hill, and you have a recipe for your greatest nightmare yet. Releasing initially under the guise of a playable teaser for a new project from an unknown studio, it wasn't until curious players were able to maneuver through intense puzzles, utilizing every interaction possible, from finding puzzle pieces in UI to using the mic included with the PS4, that they were rewarded with the realization that the title was a teaser for Silent Hills. To this day, the story PT tells and its rich layers of twisted horror exist unparalleled when it comes to big-budget genre horror. It's impossible to say whether or not the full release could have lived up to the lofty expectations of PT, but on its own, PT remains excellent.
Star Wars is a franchise so sacred that any misstep can cause catastrophic effects. Thankfully, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order manages to capture the essence of Star Wars by respecting the canon with a new story and allowing the player to feel like a Jedi. Fallen Order follows the story of Cal Kestis, who is suddenly thrust back into his role as a Jedi Padawan after the Empire discovers his identity. As his journey progresses, Cal understands what it means to be a Jedi and how he should use his abilities to protect others. His struggles along the way, as well as those of his allies, create a nuanced tale that's begging to be continued. His crew of Seer Junda, Grease, Night Sister Marin, and of course, BD-1 are all compelling characters that fit perfectly into the world of Star Wars. Along with an earnest story is a combat system that makes you feel like a Jedi. It's similar to the Soulsborne combat, and although it doesn't necessarily feel as refined, it does capture the weight and patience we all imagine wielding a lightsaber must feel like. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is easily the best EA Star Wars game, and it's quite possibly the best Star Wars game ever made.
I'd be pretty hard pressed to actually feel the need to explain what Fortnite is, with it being one of the biggest games in the world, let alone a great battle royale in itself. However, I do feel the need to explain what Fortnite has done for the industry as a whole. While not the first, Fortnite's free-to-play model birthed the Battle Pass system that offers players the choice to grind to attain cosmetic rewards or simply purchase them, giving players the best of both worlds and revolutionizing the way developers monetize their games, especially if they're free to play. Fortnite, with the help of developer Epic Games, were the first to popularize crossplay and cross-progression, two huge features gamers dreamed about but never thought we'd actually see the light of day. Having groundbreaking live events to debut new seasons or events centered around big ad campaigns like Marvel's Avengers, Fortnite is not only a great battle royale but one of the most influential, industry-affecting games of all time.
Batman: The Telltale series is an excellent take on the Caped Crusader. The series is anything but safe. The Wayne legacy is pulled into scrutiny as corruption plagues the family name. Bruce grapples with the promise he once made to his parents and the shame he now feels about the sins of his father. Telltale challenges the framing of Bruce's story, making for a unique take that keeps surprising. The classic choice system the developer is known for is in full effect in this series, and it leaves Batman's tale up to the player. Choose to be a righteous hero focused on rehabilitating Gotham's villains, or fight as a vengeful vigilante poised to punish wrongdoers. Either way, the end result is a fresh spin on a hero whose story has been beaten into the ground time and time again. Not only is Bruce's story unconventional, but so too is the Joker's. Telltale's second season, The Enemy Within, focuses on the origins of the Clown Prince of Crime. In this story, his origin is inherently tied to Bruce, who can either trust the Joker and lead him toward a better path, or so doubt in him and abandon him as a psychopath. With a focus on player agency and a refreshing twist on a revered character, Telltale's turn with The Dark Knight is one of the best Batman stories in gaming.
After 8 years without a mainline addition to the series, Animal Crossing New Horizons garnered a lot of hype on the lead up to release. The first Animal Crossing on Switch became a massive success, completely blowing many expectations out of the water. Featuring an island theme across the board, Animal Crossing New Horizons lets players customize and fine-tune your island. The agency the player has even bleeds into the physical architecture of the island, with the feature of terraforming allowing you to really create the island you want. At its core, Animal Crossing New Horizons brought a peaceful, relaxing, and satisfying experience at a time in the world that was much needed. Not just upon release either, as it continues to add on to the experience that keeps those hooked on the reel and others coming back to their island. It's no graphical powerhouse major IP with serious humanity commentary, it's pure fun, and Animal Crossing New Horizons absolutely nailed it.
After nearly 2 decades away from the formula set forth in Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine, our favorite Italian plumber returned to the world of open-world platformer excellence in Super Mario Odyssey. Taking the best lessons learned from Super Mario Galaxy and 3D World, Odyssey provides players with tightly crafted levels that reward curiosity and exploration, with every corner feeding into your progression. No level overstays its welcome, and the level diversity is some of the best the 3D Mario series has ever seen. The inclusion of the capture system makes players think of new ways to view the world through the lens of your enemies, finding new secrets and paths to explore. And by the end, Mario becomes a changed man. It's truly an adventure worthy of being called an Odyssey, and we would be down for another.
No game has ever really taken its name as serious from a gameplay perspective as Assassin's Creed Odyssey has, as it is truly a long journey. Boasting 50 hours of the main core story, with the game getting up to the hundreds of hours of game time, with all the content being added in post-release from DLC, Odyssey is an insanely massive game and a technical marvel by Ubisoft. Although taking place in the ancient Greek world, it doubles down on the era and features familiar faces along with a super addicting gameplay loop. As Ubisoft is known for, this is a perfect checklist type of game that has interesting stories and gorgeous open world scenic locations. While fighting as Alexios or Cassandra, by the way, please pick Cassandra, the added dialogue choices really give the player a chance to not only understand the character but also truly roleplay in this new wave of Assassin's Creed games. Fight on sea or by land, Assassin's Creed Odyssey will surely give you a tale you'll never forget.
And there you have it. Once again, another entry in Once in a Generation has been complete. We hope you enjoyed our top 30 to 21 best games out of our continuing top 50. And we hope to see you again in the middle of September as we count down the top 10 boss fights of this console generation. We'll also be back at the end of September for the top 20 to number 11 games of this console generation, and we promise you won't want to miss it. If you liked any of our picks, are new to JoyClicks, or just enjoyed the video, be sure to give the video a like because it helps us out a ton, and we greatly appreciate it. Sharing is great too, but if you're brand new, be sure to hit the subscribe button because we are very close to 2,000 subs, and we'd love to hit it as we approach next gen. If you'd like to learn more about all of us, you can follow our social medias down below, and you can consider going to patreon.com/joyclicks to see how you can earn producer credit, influence over our shows and streams, or early access to some of our shows at the $5, $2, and $1 tier. Next Generation is coming up fast, so we hope you've enjoyed the road so far and are ready to continue with us to the very end. So thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again on the road to Next Gen.